Ladies and gentlemen, episode 12. I have no idea what the fuck we're really talking about. We usually get together on Monday nights and chit-chat for a little bit and try to discuss what we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to cover that I have no idea who the fuck these people are. We're going to dive into the MLS, Youth Academy, or Superstars, which way MLS teams are going. I knew that image was going to come up. I knew that image was going to come up. I tried to find it.
Alex,
that's all right.
I understand who you are right now. In that
Yep.
That makes
all
a
right,
lot
so
of sense.
we'll get around the old circle here. What are you drinking? I'll start off. I'm drinking water as fucking usual. Cy, chime in. I know somebody's got a sappy story. It might not be Matt tonight. Might be somebody different. We'll wait and see.
So, there's only one way to introduce the beer I'm drinking, but oh yeah,
that's gonna sound
right.
great.
That's right.
Matt
That's
is
right.
so extra.
Evil Geniuses, Stacy's mom. Can't go wrong with a little Stacy's mom.
That's
so.
gonna sound wonderful. Completely cut out of the YouTube.
Yeah, we just got copyrighted smacked.
It's probably not as good as some of my other Evil Genius favorites, including what's that one called? There's something dishwasher. They have a bunch of funny beer names.
Oh yeah, because I definitely want my beer to taste like dishwasher.
Of course, why would you not?
I think it's like a chocolate peanut butter beer, and it's called something dishwasher. It's hilarious.
See, like I'm all for beer, like companies going the extra mile and trying to do something different. Chocolate peanut butter. I want to eat chocolate peanut butter.
Oh,
I don't want to
like
drink. I don't want to drink chocolate peanut butter. But
That sounds pretty gross.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Kyle,
Yeah, can I get a tall glass of COVID-19 instead? Thanks.
Here's a Corona with extra.
Basically the same thing. If I drank a chocolate peanut butter beer. Alex, take it away.
Here it is. It's called
Me?
Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It's called Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
So
it's a
I actually,
chocolate
Do you
peanut butter
regularly keep
porter.
monkeys in the dishwasher?
You really can't keep them anywhere else, or they shit all over the place and throw it at you. So you got to keep them in the dishwasher.
As long as there's no bats.
That makes sense. That tracks.
So Justin passed it off to Alex. I passed it off to Kyle, which means Dre's going next.
All right, Dre.
Logically speaking, I think that makes sense. So I think this week I'm gonna take over the sappy story. I am drinking a beverage that is called a daiquiri, just a straight up daiquiri, none of this blender bullshit. But the rum I used is a Haitian rum barbacoa. It's a white rum that has like a lot of funk to it. It's really weird. It took me like a couple tries of this recipe to get it right. Yeah, like it's like that 70s baseline funk. It's that much. I had to like experiment with the recipe to get a mix of like the right sugar. I ended up using Demerara sugar, some lime juice, and some white Haitian rum. But it's really good. So that is what I'm drinking this episode.
Please put that in the show notes.
I respect anyone
If you want the
who has
recipe,
time.
I'll put it in there.
I respect anyone who
want
has
it, I
the
want it.
time to make a cocktail like that, because like the second I see it has more than 2 like steps in it that isn't pour into glass, put ice in, like yeah, no, I'm sorry. The hardest thing I do is
Hey,
Yeah.
I make cocktails too. Sometimes I pour my beer into a glass. Impressive. I know.
There you
see,
go.
whoa, that's too
Not in
many
tailgate
steps.
stuff.
I've
That's
seen him
too
do it
many-
once. I've seen him do it once.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's too many
Yeah, I mean,
steps.
this whole quarantine, that's like kind of all I've done. When I'm hanging out at my girlfriend's house, like once we're both clocked out of our computers for work, the cocktails start
I
rolling, and
refuse-
it's
I
just
refuse-
we have
I
a bottle of,
refuse-
I
of
refuse.
tequila,
Oh,
of rum,
I
whiskey, and vodka, and
I
gin, and just like
I-
start mixing shit.
What's wrong with you, Matt? What's wrong with
No,
you?
I refuse to believe that. I refuse they wait until they both clock out.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
definitely-
I will
had,
not on this podcast say that I have not started drinking.
I have had some
Crickets,
work
no,
happy
but-
hour meetings where like my boss is on and my coworkers were all like on a call together, kind of like this, and drinking. That was technically on the clock still, but that's about it. Anyway, I think let's see. Alex is next.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
speaking of
I'm gonna
cocktails.
I'm gonna hone in my inner Matt. You ready for this? If you couldn't tell what I'm drinking,
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
Is that
How
Jack
many
Daniels
times
over there?
can one
Is that-
podcast get copyright struck in one episode? Let's
We'll
tune in
find
to
out.
this guy has like 300 views on this video, so I think we're good.
So we're gonna get shut down for the song that's gonna lead us into the episode. We're gonna get shut down for my song, and then we're eventually gonna get shut down for Alex's.
There's no rules.
7-minute YouTube video.
And last but not least, because this should have taken a whole like less than 5 minutes of what it's been.
We're gonna break an hour
Kyle.
tonight.
Ladies
what
and
do you-
gentlemen, you know we don't do anything quick. Right now, I'm
That's not-
drinking,
First of all,
just
that
like
is
Justin, water. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
I have Cream Ridge Winery American Merlot. There's no sappy story. It's just wine.
It's a Merlot. I
I
think
the
I'm
never-
blood of my enemies.
I think
I
I'm gonna
never
do
drink water, Justin.
Hold on. Do I
Just
have
fucking-
to just?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
There you
hold
go.
it as
You have to
as a
sniff
goblet.
on. You have to sniff it. You have to sniff it. Yep.
You have to like
Oh.
swish it around in the glass, you know.
No, there's 2 steps to drinking wine. I open the bottle and then I finish the bottle.
No, see that's like
God, you make
that's-
me so proud, man.
dude. That's my method right there, man. Wine
Fuck
is the
egg
perfect.
mentality.
Sometimes, depending on the wine, there's no glass involved, which might mean I have a problem.
Well, I mean,
It might mean that you're actually a
You're an-
teacher.
Don't
So
understand.
that just means you're a determined drinker. I think
Get
someone who
shots by myself in my
determines.
room right now.
Yeah, there you go, bud. Cheers.
I think someone
Oh,
who
he's gone.
determines to finish the bottle. They're just determined. They're not alcoholics. They're just determined.
Fuck.
I mean, Alex, if I was in your location right now too, I'd probably take a couple shots before I get into it. You know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So to go.
He's taking a lot of shots tonight.
So to go in and dive in to the reason why we're all here today, we're gonna stick to one topic and pray to God we stay under 40 minutes because Spotify is out to get us because they won't let us go over a specific time limit. Those bastards.
Is that topic how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
We don't have
I
enough
can't
time
work
for
right
that.
now.
You don't have enough
We're
time.
running
for that.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot
No,
of
I,
math.
have,
that we'll
I
have
threw
to
away
do.
the Venn diagram and everything. Don't worry.
I was about to say there's charts.
No,
here's a
we're done
pie.
with that.
How many lows could a Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe could rob lows? Can't believe I said that.
So the big question of the night, is what direction is the MLS going? Some teams are looking at superstars. Try to sell some of those extra tickets and fill the seats. Obviously, the Red Bulls aren't one of those teams. Are you going youth academy? Matt, take it away with your terrible Boston Red Sox hat on. I went there, Kyle.
Forget
Can
about
somebody
the
mute
Boston-
Justin again?
Forget about the Boston Red Sox hat. I'm still speechless about the Rob Lowe thing. They got.
I can't believe I said all that and didn't fuck up any of the words.
We're gonna get copyrighted, man.
Yo, Rob Lowe is like, haha.
His name's trademarked.
At this point.
30
No,
minutes
I
in.
mean, honestly, we're honestly. I think, and you look at the current MLS. I'm someone who has been watching the MLS since very early days.
dawn of time.
Remembering the Metro Stars, remembering all those original teams. I still remember the Kansas City Wizards, which I still to this day think is probably one of the best MLS jerseys ever made ever.
Chivas USA.
They weren't one of the originals.
They weren't one of the originals, but they
But
were
no,
a team
yeah.
that was way back. It's not around
Yeah, ask Sasha Question. He knows all about that.
anymore. Yep.
You look at teams. I believe it's very important for teams who are just starting. But like as you said, Justin, as well, teams that are looking to fill seats, you're not filling seats with a bunch of academy players. You're going to fill seats with superstars. But superstars aren't always the case. I think when you look at a lot of different things, buying younger talent is always beneficial for your team because you reap the benefits. If they end up turning out good, someone's going to come in and want to buy them. And usually they're going to want to
Benfica.
buy them for a lot of, dude, Benfica made over $1 billion in a decade. Imagine a corporation making $1 billion in profit just by selling assets. I'm sorry, I consider
But
that
they could win stuff if they kept them instead.
they're the most successful Portuguese league team in history.
Yeah, and how does that translate to Europe?
They don't need to be good in Europe. They just need to be good. If they continue to finish 1 or 2 in the Bundesliga, in the Portuguese League 1, that's all they care about, dude. Like Benfica is the most talked about thing, and you couldn't name their starting 11. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. Trust me, when you're marrying into a Benfica family, you don't have a choice. At least on my mindset, I think it's wonderful for the league when superstars enter. I really do. I remember, I mean, we all remember Thierry Henry. When Thierry Henry is one of the major reasons why I support the Red Bull day in and day out. I loved watching the MLS when it first started. I liked the Metro Stars, but it never got me, like I would go to a game on occasion. But like Thierry Henry, someone who I've been watching not only in the Premier League, but in La Liga, come over to the New York Red Bull. I'm sitting here like, yo, this guy is like a world-class superstar, top 5 striker in his day. I got to get my eye. I got to see this in person. And that's
you got
why
to watch him put in goals from the corner.
that's the anniversary of that was not too long ago. But overall, you look at it like you need superstars in your league to promote sales. When Kaká came to Orlando City, you couldn't get a ticket for Orlando City. You couldn't, because that stadium sold out, and just the immediate flair of him being there. Orlando City was never a good team, even with Kaká. Orlando City was never above. They never. I don't know if you can quote me on it, but I don't believe they ever made the playoffs. I don't believe they ever
you're
went.
wrong.
Yeah, that's so. Superstars are good for selling tickets and selling jerseys, but when you want to go the distance and you want to build through the youth and you want to build through getting younger South American talent, you look at Atlanta United. Atlanta United does it right. No one here needs to like Atlanta United to admit that Atlanta United has the correct systems in place. They're putting money in youthful South American talent who are coming into the MLS and bullying people with pace and power. That's it. But then you look at the New York Red Bull, who spend way too much time on just their individual academies and not bringing in people from the outside. Clubs in Europe don't survive on just what's within. You need to supply stuff from outside teams.
We were talking about it earlier today about how important it is for the MLS to bring in like just more superstars, just to get more people into the stands. I mean, right now that doesn't really matter since we can't really play games, but exactly that. It's, do you wager that like the homegrowns is more important to the team, or is it more important to get bigger names and more people following the sport, you know?
Well, that's exactly it. I remember
we need more superstars.
But you know what? And I 100% agree. I remember when Thierry Henry was here. I believe it was the only jersey being sold in the Red Bull's Bull Shop was Thierry Henry. Mm-hmm. I still know Red Bull fans to this day. You see them coming to games almost a decade after.
You still see Henry jerseys, yeah, of course.
You see
exactly.
people get.
Matt said it. Yeah. He started watching them because of him.
But that's exactly it.
And he stayed around, right? He's still watching him after the fact.
I don't like going out and buying player jerseys because eventually players leave, they retire, and then it's just like, why do I have this guy's jersey?
That's my problem with the MLS versus other sports. Certain player jerseys don't seem to have the shelf life in this sport.
Oh,
you want to say shelf life? Talk basketball.
I was going to say, forget about shelf life. Talk about hockey. Who sticks around it? Like, I feel like I had a bunch of hockey jerseys of Devil
Matt,
players.
you have to remember I'm a sad man, and the only jerseys I buy are from 2003 or before.
But
great
you
season.
Look at it, like, so like some of the links.
There.
So like,
still want my Stevens jersey.
We'll talk about some of the links on like certain teams down the line that like have been linked to the MLS. But I mean, I'm just going to close up with, I think superstars are essential for the MLS. It keeps TV sales going. I feel like regular Joe Schmo who has nothing invested in the MLS is not going to watch the Houston Dynamo play against, I'll the New York Red Bull. I'll say the New York Red Bull. They're not going to watch that game because there's no one on either side of the field that is like, wow, he's playing. So you don't pick up. I call them just loose fans. I call them fans who watch the sport but don't have a team. But when you bring in someone like, how many Red Bull fans did?
I assume we're also classifying Euro snobs in with these people.
Yes and no. I look at it like this.
I don't know how many. That in a mean way, just the word I'm using.
I'm gonna finalize one thing, and I know I've been talking way too much, but I remember how many Red Bull fans we lost when, in the same off season, or it was like a couple off seasons in a row, NYCFC came in and bought Villa, Pirlo, and Lampard. When you bring in 3 superstars that everyone knows, it doesn't matter what league you support, you know these 3 players. Like, 2 of them are World Cup winners. Frank Lampard's got to be one of the best midfielders in England history. When you have all 3 of them coming to one team around the same time, yeah, Those fans who are not committed to another team, they're committed then now.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
That's
I still know people who have Pirlo jerseys and wear them with pride. He didn't do anything substantial for NYC.
No, but it's like you got to say that you went to a game and saw Andrea fucking Pirlo.
Oh, I brag about it. I even say it. Hey, I was rooting against him. I probably said every horrible name under the sun to him. But at the same time, I got to see Frank Lampard live. I got to see Wayne Rooney live. I got to see David Villa live. I got to see Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
As a Bayern fan, I was happy I got to see Schweinsteiger when Chicago came around. That was big for me. Even though we whipped their ass, I was still happy to see Schweinsteiger in the stadium.
I think, though, to bring it a little bit back to the point, I think it goes in steps. I think you need to get superstars like that who are kind of just not at the end, but towards the end, and who are just huge names just to get notoriety. I think then the next step would be where we're at now, where you have people like Neymar and Gareth Bale who are linked to teams. They're on and off talking about it. They're not necessarily like done at this point in their career. And then once you have that, you have to start moving forward. You have to start turning things into something. Like you have to get to the point where people say about the MLS, like, oh, well, he came from the Atlanta United farm system. Like that has to be just as prestigious as coming from a Man United system, as coming from a Juventus system. That there's steps. You know what I mean? Like you build with these players and you move forward.
I still
to the point where the youth is the same thing now.
I watch Red Bull Leipzig games. I try watching as much soccer as possible, but like I'll watch Red Bull Leipzig games. Whenever Tyler Adams does anything productive, oh my God, do they immediately talk about, and someone from the New York Red Bull Youth Academy, Tyler Adams has been a part of the system since he was like in his early teens. And I'm sitting here like, they just mentioned our youth academy system. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But you can't,
actual team.
But you can't live and die on just the youth academy. You really can't. You need, Kyle made a very good point. You need your superstar. You need a superstar. You need a guy who sells the jerseys, who's the face of the team. When you get that magnet at the beginning of the season that has the schedule, it has his face on it.
Yeah.
But after that, you do need core players around him. You don't need the world of superstars. We're not the rest of, like, we're not Europe. We don't need 8 superstars to an 11 person team, and, you're competing against the other best teams in Europe. The MLS doesn't run that way, or at least not yet. Hopefully,
you don't have that money anyway, so.
Well, and hopefully those like salary cap restrictions eventually go away. But I know Dre had a good point. And first and foremost, Dre, before we continue, Bastian Schweinsteiger was the worst superstar to come to the MLS.
Worst how? In terms of his impact in the MLS?
Worst because you mean it, or worse because we're egging on Dre?
Hey, listen, when Chicago buys the best central defensive mid to come out of Germany, plays him as a center back for years out of position, and expects greatness,
that's what I'm
not going to get it. In the one game he had where Chicago played against Bayern, he played one half with Chicago for Chicago. Then he played the second half for Bayern against Chicago. The second half, Bayern played him in his natural position, and he scores a banger of a goal in the 80th plus minute. Like, if you play him in his position, which is central defensive mid, a little bit above the center backs, he's good. He's not a natural center back, but that's Chicago's problem, not mine. I was just happy to see the man play Red Bull Arena.
I still remember when Felipe made him his bitch.
Listen, things happen. So no, the one thing, there's a couple points I want to mention about this conversation we've had here. So about stars versus academy players and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the MLS is not yet a league that produces very many of its own stars just yet. The stars that we do get are usually aging ones who are retiring from Europe and, want to get the twilight of their career out in the MLS, maybe, get a cup or something, things like that. I think that teams do need to mix their regular lineups with 1 or 2 superstar players. And the Red Bull were doing that for a little bit when they brought in Henry. And then that elevated the team. It got them really close. They got to the playoffs all the time. They were winning a lot of games.
Does anyone remember Tim Cahill?
That guy. But then
Exactly.
When Henri was on his way out, we were still riding that wave of Henri, and we had BWP, who was still kind of in his prime at the time. And then we never really kept up with it. We never got another forceful player into the squad lineup, and we're just kind of coasting as opposed to, going into that next gear. And I think that's a problem that a lot of MLS teams have. Yeah, it's good for filling the stadiums, and I agree with that. Like, teams need to buy superstars to fill stadiums. Whether or not they win a cup or win the league or whatever is one thing, but you sign superstars, you're going to get fans to show up. That's important. I think if more teams sign superstars, we get more attention on the league, and that's really good. Like Kyle mentioned, we'll get maybe some Euro snobs watching. If you have someone in Chicago who's a huge fan of the Premier League and they sign someone who's about on their way out from there to Chicago, like that's a big market.
Like you said, or like Matt said with Orlando, like if you have a Cristiano or Lionel Messi come tomorrow, doesn't matter if they're on Houston, San Jose, or Orlando.
Yeah.
That stadium's sold out all year. They could lose every game. That stadium is still sold out every game.
I don't know.
Those
who
jerseys are sold out too.
I don't remember who I was talking to. I was talking with someone about this. I can't remember if it's one of us or.
Then I guarantee you that team is all over ESPN.
Yeah. No, forget it. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi come to the MLS, it's done. It's done for it's done for every and that's where I just look at all some of these teams. Like you look at some of their owners and the fact that they have open DP spots where they can literally bring in anyone in the world. Put myself in the general manager position of the New York Red Bull. Go sign yourself a Cristiano Ronaldo who's going to be turning in the upcoming years 36, 37, 38 years old. I don't care if you have him for a minute. You have him for 1 year. Guess what? It's the #1 sold jersey in the United States.
Ticket sales go
Forget it.
Absolutely.
Forget it.
Buy tarps. Buy tarps.
Buy tarps. Yep.
Bye-bye.
So,
Sorry, John. Buy tarps.
So before we finish up, I'm going to go down the list of some of the teams that are rumored to come to the MLS in the upcoming years. And I want us to go around round robin. Do you think it's going to happen? A couple years ago, it was about last year. It's kind of lost a little bit of foot traffic. Do we believe that Mesut Ozil is coming to DC United? I'm going to start off and say no, because I haven't heard anything since the rumor leaked about a year ago. Haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming that deal is dead and dusted.
I'll go next. I'm going to think yes on this one, because if we remember, the deal got announced. He was supposed to leave early because there was a management issue, and then there was management change. They kept him on. They started using him, promises, blah, blah, blah. But his contract is up soon, so I think that talks are still going on.
I'm going to actually agree with Kyle here. I can see Ozil coming to DC United. Granted, with this whole coronavirus situation, that is kind of the biggest wrench thrown into here, whether or not we even have a season, whether it's this year or next year, anything like that. That is the biggest factor there. But I think Ozil, being a player that it kind of fell out of form in Arsenal and fell out of favor really with the fans and the club, potentially getting a new start in DC would not be the worst thing for him. So I could see that being a realistic opportunity.
Alex?
Honestly, I haven't followed too much about him, but I did see the rumors. But I could definitely see someone from Arsenal coming to the MLS.
Very, very, very blank. Someone from Arsenal would definitely work with you.
Someone.
It's not Mustafi, is it?
Obama, yeah.
And Justin, finish it up. Do you believe it?
I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but if there's one team that's going to get him, it's going to be DC, because I can see him wearing DC United uniform. So
the next one, and this one's going to be a little bit bigger. He hasn't been linked to anyone, so he's general. He said, he's completely open to the MLS. So I'll stretch this question out a little bit further. Gareth Bale has said that the MLS is a growing league and he would love to be a part of it. What team do you think he would be linked to, and do you think he would come? So I think the general thing would be LA, but I hate to keep quoting Alexi Hollis. Alexi Lawless made a very good point. Gareth Bale loves to golf. Golfing. He likes golfing.
New Jersey has some nice golf courses.
He literally
Yes,
said
yes,
once,
yes,
he said,
yes.
New
I
Jersey
like
has
to,
some
The
very
one-
nice
no,
golf
I
courses.
like Los Angeles for holiday and stuff, he said. And stuff like that.
Alexi Lawless made a very good point. What is one of the few places in the United States you can golf year round?
Arizona.
Alexi Lawless made it very clear. Miami. Miami is a place where you can golf
Yeah, it
12
rains
months
too
out of
much.
the year.
It rains too much.
They got a lot of golf courses.
And there's alligators and shit, you know.
And there's alligators and shit.
So I think
Yeah, there's
Gareth
no
Bale-
alligators in New Jersey, Gareth Bale.
Carol
I-
Baskin's down there too, I think.
You go to Atlanta.
There's just heroin addicts and thieves, but no alligators.
Everyone's just
Wow.
hating on Florida right now. Matt's
Wow.
like, I like it.
Let's
I'm
switch
gonna
this
keep-
around before we keep taking pot shots.
I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. I think Gareth Bale 100% comes to the MLS. That's right, not 95, not 98. I think 100% Gareth Bale at one point in his career is an MLS player, and he has a good relationship with David Beckham. And David Beckham is I think in the upcoming years is going to bring superstars in waves. I think he's going to use the hell out of those three DP spots. I think Gareth Bale 100%, and I think Miami.
Mm.
I'm going to agree. I see him coming 100%. He's the one player we're going to mention where I see him coming sooner rather than later. I think if he got the right offer now, he would come. I don't think it's a matter of, when my career winds down. And as far as where I could see him ending up, I'm going to halfway agree Miami, but just for the sake of us not really talking about what happened with Victor Wanyama, it could just be one of those random ass middle of the country teams that just, here you go.
Are you giving me hope? Are you giving me hope that there's a random chance that the New York Red Bull sign Gareth Bale?
No. You see, you had to get a rubber wristband this year, so that there goes any shots you have at a signing. The money's just not
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
So
They
I'm
were
gonna go.
expensive, they were
I'm gonna go around the turn where I see it because I don't know if we have all the same layout. But Dre, Gareth Bale to the MLS, yes or no, and who?
I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like Gareth Bale, at least not anytime soon. I think Gareth Bale is a player of enough quality that even when he's done at Real, he would still have opportunities for plenty of European teams that would want him, whether it's a mid-tier Premier League club or whether it's a club in another, maybe like a PSG or something, club that wins every year, something like that.
You know, a
I could
retirement
see-
league.
Right, but not a retirement league that can pay more than the MLS and is more prestigious than the MLS. I don't think I see Bale going to the U.S. That's just my take on that.
Okay, well, he doesn't need to say a team if he's not coming at all. Alex,
To go
Is he-
against that. No,
is-
I mean,
is-
he's already talked about how he would like to come to America, and he talks about the MLS and the league, how it's still up and rising. I see him coming, and I see him going to LA only from a sentence that I read like on some article where he literally said that he likes a holiday and stuff in LA. Plus, I'm pretty sure you can golf course year round in LA.
Yeah,
So-
you're also forgetting about Pebble Beach, ladies and gentlemen.
You also just to jump back into this, if I had to pick a club or whatever. Okay, do you guys remember that celebration Bale had where he had the flag and it says Wales, Golf, Madrid in that order?
yep.
Think of it this way. What
He's gonna
is
give me hope.
what is the shortest flight from the U.S. to Wales?
See,
Newark
this is where
Airport.
Dre's
Newark
gonna give
Airport
me
is the
hope. And
closest flight
I don't want hope.
from
Dude,
New
now our golf
Jersey
courses
to
aren't.
Hold on.
Wales.
Gareth Bale is flying into Newark. Put your tinfoil hats on, everybody.
All
Come
I'm
on,
saying is
someone mute Dre.
Miami's a couple
I-
extra hours.
Right,
LA
our
is
golf
a lot
courses
of
are
extra
not up
hours.
to par. I'm sorry.
LA is
Not
a lot
far.
of extra hours. New Jersey's the closest.
Before
No.
Justin,
I've
real
played our
quick,
courses.
because Justin, does Gareth Bale, the Welsh winger,
Yes,
find his way to the
he
MLS?
comes. He comes to the MLS and he's either going LA or he's going to go to NYCFC. I'm sorry, but he's going. He's coming to the United States to build a brand. All these players come here to build an idea or a brand, a marketing for themselves. So at the end of the day, he's not going to go to Columbus. He's not going to go to fucking somewhere in the middle of the United States. He's going to be on one of the coasts, like every other player that wants to play here. I mean, besides Atlanta, that's the only other team in the middle that I
You
could
know
see him
what?
going to. But Atlanta's just
But you
too
guys, you have
stacked
to remember
to
that
waste
there
money
have
on other
been
players.
other teams aside from the NYCFCs, the LAs that get these big name players. Wayne Rooney signed for DC. Schweinsteiger signed for Chicago. Like, these are not like the biggest.
Honestly, I'm still to this day,
teams.
like, I get it happened. I'm still surprised
still
Bastian
understand.
Schweinsteiger ended
Yeah.
up in
I know.
Chicago.
It's a matter
that
of the
press
money.
conference-
DC and NYC have a history that they will spend the money if they
Yeah,
want to.
that's also the other thing. So before we keep talking about Gareth Bale, we'll talk about
All
Gareth Bale another day.
I'm gonna take this next
Especially
Just
one
as
if
a
over
he's flying
just
into
as a
Newark.
side
Has
note.
anybody checked flight logs?
here.
Forget about flight logs. Doesn't Donald Trump own golf courses in New Jersey, and doesn't
Gareth Bale's
he
gonna
need
come
golf
here.
buddy?
He's gonna play golf in New Jersey. It's gonna be huge.
Huge. No, so I'm gonna bring up one of the next rumored players since this is kind of the league I cover. So James Rodriguez, ex-Bayern player, I think he's currently on Real, was another player that has been rumored to potentially be making a move to the U.S. He can't seem to get consistent starting time no matter where he goes, but he's always on good teams, between Real and Bayern. He's won the league and with both teams, but can't ever break into a starting spot where he plays 30-plus games a season. Do you guys think that James Rodriguez could have a future in the MLS? And since I brought him up, I'm going to kind of throw my 2 cents here. He's a player that I think, honestly, if he wants to make a splash, he's not over that 30-year-old hump yet. If he wants to make a splash and spend 4 or 5 years in an MLS club and take part in that project where he builds a team up, I think he should bite the bullet and realize, okay, I've already won La Liga. I've already won the Bundesliga, kind of being in the background or being off the bench or whatever. If he wants to take that spot and get some glory for himself and be part of a project that brings success to some MLS club, I think he could do that. As far as what team he could go to in the MLS, I don't see him going to a Vancouver or RSL or something, but at some team that's in the top 10 for sure. Could it be a Red Bull? Potentially. The New York market is the biggest market in the United States.
Wow, Joy's smoking
know,
crack tonight. We're
is
gonna
it
get Gareth Bale
possible?
and James Rodriguez.
I don't know.
I
I'm
like
just
how this
saying,
was
the
supposed to
market-
be.
the
I
market
like
is
how this
huge.
was supposed to be
Market is
quick, and Dre
huge.
just gave us his entire Wikipedia biography.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go really quickly. James Rodriguez, South American, does not come to the MLS, ends up back in South America somewhere, and retires there. Done.
I don't think he is going to set out or even want to come to the MLS. I think he's going to go wherever he can get starting time. If that's in Europe, so be it. If that's in America, so be it.
Yeah, I'm
Alex?
gonna back that up. But he wants starting time. He's still young. I know he has about a year left on his contract. I don't really see him coming to the MLS. I know Inter Miami has been talked about trying to get him, but I see him either going, just somewhere where he can get playing time. Honestly.
Justin, finish it up.
I concur with Alex.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna
Cheers,
finish
mate.
up. So we're gonna finish
cheers
up
with water.
on. We're gonna finish up on the big. First of all, you can cheers
Is
with
it
water
Nene?
as long as the cup is not empty.
No,
Final
you
one.
can't cheers with water.
Yeah, you can.
It's bad. No, it's bad luck.
You
Oh.
send me the rule. You send me the rule that says I can't cheers with water.
Anybody
Alright.
that listens to our podcast, chime in on that one. That's going to be the big hashtag debate. Cheers with water. question
Hashtag
mark.
can you
For
cheers
this.
with water?
Hashtag cheers with water.
Cheers
next
with
one-
water. Why is
so-
it bad luck, and why does it directly affect Justin?
So this
It's
is the
Louis said-
final.
And why is that the reason
better
the
to
Red Bull
toast with
suck?
an empty glass than a glass with water. Matt, you're
So-
wrong.
I don't know
Final
if I'd go
one.
that far.
We're gonna finish up nice and quickly. Probably one of the biggest names on this list. He's mentioned it for the past couple of years that the MLS is a growing league, and I would love to be a part of it someday in my career. He's best friends apparently, because
With Nene?
apparently somewhere on Instagram he's best friends with David Beckham.
Is everybody best friends with David Beckham?
First
would
and
'Cause that
foremost,
seems
if
to
I
be-
knew, first of all,
That seems to be written in every article. Like,
First of
is
all,
there
if
like a website where I can go on, sign up, meet David Beckham,
at
be
that.
best friends with him?
First of all, side note, if I bumped into David Beckham on a subway somewhere, bumped into him, and the only words we said are, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, it's no problem. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Have a great
Matt's
day."
coming to my house tomorrow. I'm best friends with
I'm
David.
best. I would put it on all social media platforms. I'm best friends with David Beckham now, guys.
I would
Okay,
just be like,
deal
"Can I
with it.
touch you?"
Deal with it. He touched my arm. It's done.
Can you sign my face? I'm just gonna get
Can
a
you just
tattoo
sign
right here
my-
above my eye. Yeah.
So we're gonna finish it up, and we're gonna go around the room. Neymar. Neymar has said how much he loves the MLS, and he thinks it's a beautiful culture that is only going in the correct direction, and he would love to be a part of it someday. You can't quote me on those exact words. I am a couple beers in. I think Neymar also comes to the MLS at some point in his career. I'm not saying like in the upcoming years, but I'm saying at some point in his career, he will come here. He loves the American culture.
Justin's best friends.
He loves the
We're
American
in the
culture.
same photo.
He's always around this area when it comes to like vacations and stuff like that. I know he's a big fan of the NBA. So there's two things here. One, I think he goes to Inter Miami because he's, like I said, he's very good friends with David Beckham, and David Beckham would love to bring in.
He signed a blank piece of paper. That means something.
I hate to give everyone in this room false hope, but Neymar is a Red Bull athlete. Wouldn't it be something if a Red Bull athlete
Are you
signed
saying the
New
New
York
York Red Bull is
Red
going to sign PK Subban?
Yeah.
You might perform better. I'll tell you that much.
He
So-
might.
So I'm gonna finish it up.
And you guys, and Matt, and you were giving me shit for saying James might come here. Go fuck yourself.
Neymar comes to the MLS 100% at some point in his career. 100% Neymar comes to the MLS. 10% chance he comes to the Red Bull. 90% chance he goes to Inter Miami.
You heard it first here. We're getting Gareth Bale, James Rodriguez, and Neymar. We're going to win 10 straight MLS Cups.
Don't forget, we're also gonna get Ozil.
That's the only player you're not going to get.
All right. I am just gonna right off the bat jump in on this. The only thing that brings Neymar to the MLS is if his sister has a birthday party here. Okay, that's the only thing that brings Neymar to the goddamn MLS. He's not coming here. Go fuck yourself.
What? I can totally see Neymar coming here, but like towards the end of his career, you know.
Unless the MLS changes some
Like
goddamn
when
rules
he's in
about
golden days and he's like,
money
"All right,
and payment, because
I'm a-
Neymar's gonna demand the big bucks. There's not a shot.
yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it.
No, I definitely see it towards the end of the career, end of his career. He's not going to come here if he thinks he has like a lot of years left or
Yeah,
anything.
probably
but
last like 3 or 4, and
He'll come for the last few years to make money, and
make
that's
the
it.
name over here, and that's it.
Yeah.
But why do you guys think the MLS is the money making league? Go to China if you want to make money.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say it's here to make money. I would say he's here to make like a
Yeah,
name.
so you can
Bro,
be like David Villa and build up your highlight reel to insane
To,
amounts.
to land yourself a transfer to Japan.
It's all about
With
those
This is
dudes.
America,
Lucas-
bro.
and with
Dude, I was
Iniesta
about
and
to say,
Lucas
like,
Podolski.
honest, Justin said it before.
Yeah, but he can't go see LeBron James in China, bro.
LeBron James is not
It's
going
all
to China.
about, dude. It's all
That's what I'm
about
saying.
building- It's all about building your brand.
His
No one
brand
spends
is
more.
built.
No,
he has
no
a
one.
brand.
No one spends
He's-
more money
he's
than
3
Americans.
years
No,
younger
what
than
happens?
all of us
Dude,
and
what
has a
happens
brand.
after he retires?
Dude, but like I said,
He
no
rides
one.
his life out in fucking Brazil or somewhere
Come
in
to
Europe.
come to America, make some movies, be in a
Yeah, make a
music
movie.
video, do whatever
That's
he
not
wants.
the MLS.
Couple
Hollywood's not the
super
MLS.
Dre.
Yeah, but that's how you make contacts.
If
You
he
do 1 or
kicks
2
a
seasons
soccer
here, and
ball-
you're good to go.
If he kicks a soccer ball inside of an MLS stadium during an MLS sanctioned game, I'm buying each of you a bottle of liquor of your choice.
Yes. Said
What
it.
size? Reasonable
No,
one
price?
of
man.
you.
He's just said it's done.
My nipples just got hard.
I want
Yeah.
that 8.
I don't even drink, and I'm excited.
Man.
Yeah.
12
Oh,
years from now, and Dre's
Justin,
gonna
I'll
be
get
like,
you a
I
nice.
don't
I'll get you a nice
remember.
gallon of water. I'll get you a nice gallon of
Justin,
water.
You said it, and it's fucking recorded. Get out of here.
Yeah, done.
You said his choice. That's
Yeah.
I did say his choice.
he's gonna get Fiji water. Drive that price up.
In 12
Maybe-
years, water's probably going to
maybe
cost
he
more
go-
than anything
Maybe
else.
he goes for Voss, that nice Voss water.
I'm not a douche. All right.
Who else needs
There's
to
not
go?
a shot.
Who else needs? Who else needs to go for this for the Neymar debate?
It's gonna. I haven't gone yet. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be L.A. or East Coast. Something to build a brand and continue to stay here. Somebody said
Am I
his
the
sister
only
lives
one
here.
To know?
Well, his sister's here all the time. I think his sister is here all the time.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
what? If he does come here, he's going to some goddamn Southern team because he's so close with his sister. Does Alabama have a team?
Yeah, it's called.
I guess
Yeah,
Atlanta's
I'm
the
sorry, it's
closest.
not Alabama,
Family, my guy.
but it's called
Where are you
Georgia,
coming from
which
right
is right
now?
next to
I
Alabama.
think
if I'm
Atlanta's
not
the closest
mistaken.
thing, so he's gonna go to Atlanta
Yeah,
because they're into
that's-
that kind of thing down there.
Yep. Okay. Well, I don't want to talk about this anymore now. Justin, it comes to our weekly topic.
Oh, the best one of the week. What is bothering you? Is that the question? I gotta
think
check.
The term is pissing you off, but bothering, I think, works.
When have we ever used the term bothering, Justin?
I was trying to be a little bit more sensitive to people. Anyway, fuck off. Who cares? As John Faraday would say, fuck off. I think he broke the record of most Fs in our podcast. I think he said at least 20 times.
First of all,
Episode part 2, everybody was fucking hammered. It was
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Part
the thing
2 is
about
just
it
a
is
drunken
when you're podcasting for 2+ hours and everyone is drinking very loosely, yeah, dude, it's gonna
And
be.
we took an intermission to go get more liquor too.
Yeah.
Because of him, I have a kegerator. I don't,
There you go.
but I'm gonna get
Oh,
one.
It's on the way.
I'm gonna order one. I
It's on my
promise.
list.
Next
It's on my
stimulus
list.
check, it's
Dude,
ordered.
I'm looking
I haven't gotten
at
my first stimulus check, boy.
I'm looking
sorry.
at looking at pictures of future homes because now finally I can start to look at homes because now the market's starting to open up. I'm like, yo,
kegerator's
that's
gonna
gonna
go
be
right
that corner right there. That's gonna be the perfect corner for a kegerator. I'm telling you right now.
The good thing about a
So this
kegerator
is a
is
beautiful, spacious. Hey, does it have room for a kegerator?
Does it have a
Then no, I'm not interested.
get it out, get it the fuck out of here.
Then you could get-
my brother just
you can get
finished
a
his house
vinyl
and
wrap
showed
for it,
me
too.
that he sectioned off an entire part of the wall for a wine rack, like this giant wine rack refrigerator thing. Because I walk in, I'm like, what's this gaping hole underneath all these cabinets? And he's like, oh, that's where the giant wine refrigerator rack thing's gonna go. I'm like, God damn it, I'm so proud of you.
Justin,
You're a man now.
Justin,
so goddamn proud of you. It's a
Justin,
whole
what's,
wall.
what's pissing you off this week, Justin?
We're probably gonna lose my unemployment and all that jazz just because I had to go back to work. Sucks, but it is what it
Are
is.
you gonna make more now?
You can't suckle off.
No,
Uncle
the problem-
Sam's tit.
Well, the problem is that I'll make just enough where I'll screw myself out of getting unemployment and my 600 bonus. But the problem is on that is that I got to pay for my health insurance, so I'm not gonna make a lot of money.
Yep,
But-
yep.
Kyle,
I just wish this shit was over.
Kyle, what's pissing you off this week?
Well, what's pissing me off this week, as opposed to last week, I'll just do this week. We don't have that long. So, just went back to work.
No Karen.
Literally just going
Another
back to
Karen?
work. Day 3, I already want to murder people because I'm surrounded by Karens and stupid fucking idiots. When your
Didn't you
company
say-
is
I'm
being
pretty sure
run,
you said that last week. I'm like
Yeah.
almost
no,
positive.
hold
Double
on.
down.
I'm adding to
Double
this.
down.
When your
Karens.
company is being run by a guy with motherfucking dementia, and what you do changes 8 times in fucking an hour, and then you have to get things done when you don't even know what you're doing. Yeah, it's a fun day.
So I just want to comment. I thought he was gonna go to the Killer Bees. I thought he's like, I have to go work back outside.
We
Murder
spoke
hornets.
about
They're
the killer
called
bees
murder
today too.
hornets.
He's like,
I
I've been
can't swim
locked.
soon
I've
enough.
been
Just
locked
pull
in
me
the
now.
house. I've been locked in the house for 2-3 months in a row now, and I finally get to go back outside, and there's killer bees out there.
It's only a matter of time before they release the frickin' sharks with frickin' laser beams on their
Beans
frickin'
attached
heads.
to the freaking heads.
Oh, they're out there,
So-
bud. They're out there,
No,
bud.
so apparently the sharks were an endangered species, so we weren't able to get them. So what did you get? Mutated sea bass.
Killer bees.
They're very ill-tempered.
They're very
Oh.
ill-tempered.
Okay.
If you haven't watched Austin Powers, all of them, do it. They're not that
Haven't
long.
watched all the
Oh,
hours,
they're
man.
so funny.
They're
Dre,
great-
what's
great movies.
Dre, what's pissing you off this week? Besides the fact that you desperately need a haircut.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
Just-
I want you know what, Dre?
This is why I'm glad
Right,
that podcasts are an audio medium, not a visual
You
medium.
know what, Trey? I need you to go out to your local city hall. First of all, go get a gun. Then go to your local city hall and riot.
Where are you going with this, bud?
Physically riot. I want you to physically riot.
You want to he wants you to
Yeah.
protest like people in other states that actually have rights.
Protest because you can't get a haircut.
Listen, I'll deal with it. Whatever.
First and foremost, if you're rioting because you need a haircut, can you please go back into your mom's basement and continue masturbating?
Yeah.
Walk off your
Okay.
closest-
I'm just gonna let it grow.
So this week, I'm kind of between two things. So let me just have a conversation in my head real quick. All right,
Well,
I
am
got it.
not
I
the
got it. I
one
got it.
taking forever this week.
I got
this is Dre is the
Whatever.
problem.
Hold on,
This
Dre has to
week-
tell us Seppi's story to get to his answer. Hold on.
This week, what's pissing me off is something completely random that I just thought about, and that's why the fuck doesn't the U.S. have open container laws? Like, fuck you. If I want to walk down the street drinking a beer, who the fuck are you to stop me? You know? Just
They
'cause
should
it's
waive it
second
for the
that.
Just because
coronavirus.
it's
I totally
Bourbon
second
Street in
that.
fucking Louisiana or whatever, like fuck you. Like if I'm in New Brunswick and I want to walk from one bar to the next or like whatever with a beer in my hand, why can't I? Go fuck yourself. I was
That's
just
fine,
in
but it
Europe
can't be in
this
a
summer.
glass bottle.
I was about
and
to be like,
fucking
that
Ukraine
sounds
drinking like a
Europe,
motherfucker in like the Independence Square, and I get back here and I can't even fucking walk a parking lot with the beer. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So Alex,
Well, mine's not that severe. What's pissing me off? My packages keep getting lost in transit. I've had 2 packages now where it's like the date comes and it's not outside, and then I get a notification that it's lost in transit, and they'll update me when they find it. Like, where the fuck did it go?
It's like you know, if you ever have that like
The most recent one was a book. Like, I bought a fucking book because I'm so bored. I'm reading fucking books, and now I can't even get the goddamn book I wanted.
That's the equivalent. Hey guys, where's my package? I don't know. We'll let you know when we figure it out.
Yeah, like
Didn't you have a tracking number? Yeah, I don't know what it did with it.
it literally it just scrolls, nothing happens. So that's what's pissing me off. So I can't get my goddamn book.
so everyone here has played Uno before, correct?
I've only played
We've
DOS.
played
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you again.
Tres leches. Tres
That's why me and
leches.
Kyle live together.
So
Whoa.
everyone here, and
Whoa.
I'm hoping everyone who listens to us, we thank everyone for listening to us. That's number one. But everyone who listens to us, have you ever played Uno? Because I'm playing a reverse card. I'm actually happy this week.
Oh,
and it's
fuck
actually
off,
news
man.
I
We're
found
fucking-
out this week. Alex and I are both extremely happy about this. Alex and I are very happy about this because our favorite coffee shop, which is turning into shops, has finally opened after this pandemic for local pickup only. Rook Coffee is open, and I get to go back to drinking really good coffee and not Dunkin' Donuts' like filtered crap.
Sucks is
So-
that 99% of America has no idea what Rook coffee is, but for the 1% who do, it's the greatest coffee.
It's
you
the
could
greatest
ever
thing ever. First and foremost, if you're in the state of New Jersey, please take a trip to your local Rook Coffee, even if that's over an hour away.
Rook.
Trust me, it is
buy. Give
worth
them money,
the trip.
put a $100 bill in the tip jar. I don't care as long as the doors stay open and I can get fucking coffee.
100%.
Ah,
Off this week, I haven't been able to touch Justin's face.
Justin has a nice face.
I'll see you guys next week.
And on that note, thanks for joining us. Welcome and goodbye to the awesome tangents that is Posts and Pints podcast.
Thank you guys.
We'll see you guys later next week. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Post and Pints. If you want to join in on the conversation or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, that's at Post and Pints Podcast. And remember, the banter is free, but the beer is not included. Drink responsibly.